I'm Gus Lorenz, and this is a new podcast called Bugs and Bottom Lines. We're here today in McGee, Arkansas at the McGee Warehouse LLC. They've been kind enough to give us a space to do this podcast, so I want to give them a shout out. But I'm here today with Dr. Melissa Siebert from Corteva. So, Melissa, it's been a few years since we've seen each other. What have you been up to?
Well, I was at the station for a while doing field characterization, field scientist, running the station. And then, I did regional management for a little while of our insecticides. I think I was still working with you before retirement. But since your retirement, I've been having more of a global role, managing our insecticide portfolio. I serve as a pipeline development leader. So I do more than entomology now, Gus.
Yeah, you're a big shot now.
Well, I don't know about big shot, but I'm covering all parts of project management. So regulatory, formulation, manufacturing, all these parts. So I'm learning a lot.
Yeah. So Melissa, what we want to talk about today is Transform and how it came to be. And so the history, I think it's pretty unique history with this product and the impact that it's made in the cotton industry. So I'd like to talk a little bit about how we got here.
Yeah. It was a long journey. But at least for me, it started when I was, again, at the field station. I was focused on characterizing early stage new discovery analogs, coming from Indianapolis. And we had this new sap feeding insecticide poised for global development on whiteflies and aphids. That was what we were targeting. Ligas and plant bugs wasn't really top of the list at this point. Not really well known on the pest emergency. And but I remember begging for material, Gus, and I did my first trial in 2006, maybe 2005. Did the field trial, and I had the students working with me that summer, and we did the trial, and immediately they're like, Miss Melissa, we got something here. This stuff works. But I didn't tell headquarters because I thought I did something wrong with the trial. So had to do it again, Gus. And so we did it again. And the students were like, well, we killed him again. So we got something. So immediately it's going to headquarters. Hey, this stuff works. By now they're understanding the pest emergency, how many times growers are spraying. And at that point, the development of the product started to center around the Mississippi Delta, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, where this plant bug emergency really, was, the center point.
Yeah, a lot of people may not remember that time, but, back in those days, it was a dire time for us to manage plant bugs. We had gone through boll weevil eradication and Bogard cotton was coming online, Bogard 2 and that kind of thing. And that plant bug filled that niche, that when we removed the boll weevil and we removed boll worms to a large extent, bud worms, plant bugs filled that niche
Corn
a whole
was
lot
increasing.
better than I ever dreamed that looking back at it, it's like, wow, all of a sudden it goes from a minor pest, one that we really didn't give that much emphasis on, to now it's all of a sudden it's the number one pest in cotton production in the Mid-South.
Yeah. Well, I went to grad school in Louisiana, and it was a pest, but I woke up and I saw it was a big pest in the Mississippi Delta. I remember that, 2004, 2005 season, 16 sprays. Sometimes you hear growers spraying.
Yeah. Very, very common for us to spray 8, 9, 10 times down here.
Yeah.
So it was a rough time. Trying to maintain that pest.
Yeah. But we, it was great. Between Corteva, Dow at the time, the other researchers in the Mid-South. We really worked together.
Yeah, we had a strong group of good extension entomologists in the Mid-South, and working together. Well, we solved a lot of problems for our producers during that time. It was good. It was a good time to be an extension entomologist.
Yeah. So we talk about a lot of different pests that growers are dealing with, but plant bugs are one of those that it truly is emergency, really damaging type of pest.
Yeah, it's one that we quickly realized was the whole problem. Just about the whole problem. With weevils out of the way and and the bollworm's gone pretty much with Bogard cotton. Those plant bugs filled that niche very quickly, and they became the number one issue for us in insect control in cotton.
Yeah.
So we were anxious at that time, to get this product labeled after looking at it and looking at all the data that was out there, and we started working, y'all did, and us working with EPA to get it where our growers could use the product, but we saw the situation that it needed to happen.
Yeah. So what have you been doing, Gus, since retirement?
Enjoying myself immensely. I really have enjoyed retirement these last few years. It's really been good. I'm currently I do a little bit of work, still in the business, but mostly I'm a gentleman farmer. We're growing blackberries and blueberries and chestnuts and pecans on our family farm, and really enjoying that part of my life. Yeah.
Good.
So Melissa, we talked a lot about plant bugs, but we really, one of the attributes of this product is the control that we're getting with aphids too.
Yeah. No, it Transform is a phenomenal aphicide for sure. And that's what's nice. 2 pests with 1 spray, if you ever had those overlapping populations. But
and it happens a lot.
Yeah. But it's what, contributes to that yield increase that we see consistently. And I say yield increase, it's really this optimal yield protection, lygus control, aphids, selectivity.
And every once in a while, some whiteflies, particularly for us in Northeast Arkansas, just seems like every few years we'll get a flurry of whiteflies, and I'd be getting calls from consultants going, "Hey, I got whiteflies in my cotton."
Yeah.
And you go, "You hadn't used Transform this year, have you?" And they go, how do you know that?
Yeah.
And I go, "Because you got whiteflies."
Yeah.
That's pretty simple.
Yeah, no, it has great activity on whiteflies. And then up in the Tennessee area, don't they have flea hoppers?
Absolutely.
There's some flea hoppers too. So real good on this mix of sap feeding insects important in cotton.
One of the things that we were seeing with the products that were currently online at that time was if you were spraying some other material, a lot of times you wouldn't get maybe 3 or 4 days, and you'd have to go back. We were on like a lot of times a 3 to 5 day schedule that you were having to retreat again and again to get these plant bugs under control. And sulfoxaflor helped a lot.
Little extra
Transform
residual
helped us a lot on that.
Yeah.
It extended that time between the treatments significantly.
Yeah. And that extension of time then translates to the potential to reduce your overall applications in that crop for plant bugs.
Yeah. Well, I think we went from like 9 or 10 times down to about 4 or 5 applications a year, and on average in the state of Arkansas. And I think that had a significant part of it.
Yeah.
So I think we covered a lot of material today, Melissa, and we really appreciate you coming and helping with this first podcast and getting the ball rolling. And we're going to go from here and meet with some consultants out there, the boots on the ground, the guys that are really managing the plant bugs out there and how they approach plant bug control, bug control in cotton.